Good evening. Tiananmen Square, the military crackdown on Chinese students in Beijing a year ago, was remembered all over the world today. Hundreds of thousands showed they're still angered by the brutal suppression of the student-led movement for democracy. In Beijing itself, the voice of protest was muted by a huge security operation, but the students still managed a small show of defiance.
It was defiant applause at midnight on the campus of Beijing University as hundreds of students ushered in the anniversary of the crackdown which killed so many of their colleagues. They sang the Internationale, which they did so many thousands of times last year. They broke windows. They shouted "Down with Li Peng," the prime minister. Security forces surrounded the campus. They dispersed foreign journalists, beat up a few. There were only isolated incidents around Tiananmen Square today. A woman handed some papers to a German reporter. She was taken away by plainclothesmen, then arrested. Other plainclothesmen attacked 4 American journalists this afternoon. They'd been taking pictures on an avenue that was open to the press and to the public. Martial law was officially lifted in January, but those soldiers were posted around that square today in exactly the same positions they'd been occupying during the 8 months of military rule. They were protecting an empty space, really, sealing off a square with nothing on it, certainly nothing worth stealing. But the government of China went to war against its people last year, and it wanted none of them littering the square with their dangerous ideas.
Hong Kong staged the biggest remembrance demonstration. 100,000 people marched through the British colony to denounce the massacre and demand the release of political prisoners in China. Dozens of Chinese have fled to New Zealand since the Tiananmen Square massacre. For them, the memories are still frightening. Only 2 were prepared to join a wreath-laying ceremony outside the Chinese embassy in Wellington today. Jim Greenhalgh reports.
The small group burnt incense and hung white flowers to remember the victims of Tiananmen. A box full of petition forms signed by